I'm cool like that. I'm good like that. I don't remember the words. Going on, walk on the talks with wine. I'm your co-host. This the host. She a hoe.
And my name is Kamaya.
Wait, that is not our introduction.
I liked that. That had a little jingle to it.
Oh my goodness.
Talks with wine. Talks with wine. Hey.
I'm a co-host,
hey.
and she's the host, but she's a hoe. And this is Kamaya.
I'm a hoe too. Now you knew. When you just want a hoe in peace, okay?
Okay.
No,
All right, let's
okay.
really get to it.
How you doing? What's your name?
Welcome back to Talks with Wine.
Hey.
I am your host, Marley.
My name is Kamaya.
I really, and I'm
Why are you singing it?
Because she felt jovial. Protect
I had
her.
a song in my
Protect
spirit.
her. Okay.
Well, let it out. Just never mind. My bad.
All
Sing the
right.
spirit.
And we are back. And what is going on?
With you. How you doing?
Boo.
Are we gonna sing all episodes?
No.
Okay.
No, we tried.
I'm good. I'm having a great week.
All right.
It's my birthday month.
Yeah.
Virgo season. You had Cancer season. Don't you
It's
come
still
over
Leo.
here and
It's
go.
still Leo.
I don't
It's
give a damn
still
about the
Leo
Leos.
season.
Oh,
We
hey,
talk about that.
whoa. There will be no Leo slander on this
It's
show.
not slander, but they don't matter right now because I'm thinking about the Virgo season.
I still have a lot of Leos to celebrate, so I want you to sit
Yeah,
back
celebrate
until
with 'em.
Virgo season starts.
I'll see you on the 23rd.
This is why.
Mom, she said the 23rd.
That's when Virgo season starts.
and
We don't
not
even got to
there
count
yet.
down.
All right, Tam, how
Tam, how you doing?
been?
I'm just minding my Virgo ass business, to be completely honest with you. No, it's been a great week. I've been busy. I've been trying to meal prep. Kamaya got me doing this 2-week vegan challenge.
They're doing it.
We can do it.
I did it already. I'm not going back.
Who asked you?
I have not changed my face since this camera has started rolling. That is how I feel. No, it's cool. It's cool. It's a good detox. I need it. I don't have no meat at home. My meat's overseas. So I might as well be a vegan for these couple of days, or 2 weeks.
I hate you.
Cause my
How you doing?
my meat in here, you know what I'm saying?
I'm doing pretty well. I get some exciting news at the end of the
I
month.
like your earrings.
Thank you.
Yay.
I get some exciting news at the end of the month. I'll
Hey.
share with you guys.
Yeah.
Will
At
you
the
share
end
with
of the month.
all of us?
I'll share with everybody at the end of the
Oh,
month.
we got news coming.
It's exciting. It's an exciting time for me. So I'm glad to be here because I don't like people,
Here she
and
go.
I'm around y'all, so I feel great.
Here she go.
I mean, I guess.
All right. What are we talking
I'm
about
like
this
Miss
evening?
Churchill.
No, she didn't. What are we talking about tonight, Marley?
Okay.
As I stare deeply
I was
at
gonna
Kamaya.
say because you're looking at me and maybe you forgot my name, so I was gonna say we are talking about
Today, I want to bring up, we're going to talk about a lot of different things, but I want to bring up just the Black woman.
Who, me?
Us. I want to talk about things like protecting the Black woman because it has been all over social media where not only are we having to fend for ourselves with our men there, we are having to speak up for ourselves when other races are
celebrated.
targeting us in a sense of, how like...
Oh, you being attacked?
Not me, because I attack back. But what I mean to say is that just the struggles that we go through as Black women, just things that we encounter on the day-to-day basis where it's like
Everyday life.
Yeah, everyday type of shit where it's like, yo, are we being valued? Do you feel valued? Like,
what I also want to do when we talk about this, protecting the Black woman, I also want to bring in us protecting Black trans women. I want to talk about that just because I feel like oftentimes when Black people talk about protecting the Black race, we forget about the trans community. And we forget about how many Black trans women have died this year. And they're not being reported on. But the numbers alone in the year of 2019 is alarming.
Yeah.
And there's no say her name campaigns. There's no hashtag, nothing. And it's just like, protect all women, Black women and trans women.
whether
Right.
you're attracted to them
or not.
That is
Right,
the
and leave them
main,
alone if
main
you're
point.
not. Like,
Right.
mind your business. That has nothing to do with you. Mind your funky
We're all
business.
very big on minding our businesses.
Very
so
much so.
Mind the business that pays you, and
That
and
was
that's what
somebody's
it
quote, in
is.
case you don't remember the
It is.
episode.
It is.
Episode number 1.
So,
Well,
Tamara,
talk to us.
talk to us.
While I sip Pamela.
no, all right, well, I'm going to lead this conversation because honestly, when Marley told me we were going to be talking about protecting a black woman, like an assortment of things came to my mind, and I had pointed some like questions, well, not pointed, but I kind of like pinned some questions, and I wanted to know, do you feel that we are openly and publicly protected as black women from the news and or social media?
No.
Why?
It's no. And
It's a no.
She said it's no.
And I will take it back to, I mean, we could talk about the obvious Sandra Bland case, or we could talk about that woman who was at the Roscoe Chicken and Waffles last year, and she got arrested and tackled by the police officers.
Was that
I
last
didn't
year?
even-
2 years ago?
Was it
I
last
didn't
year or
even-
2 years ago?
It's
It was
almost 2 years
It's
now, I
almost 2
believe.
years.
Yeah.
She was
Okay.
damn near stripped naked,
Yeah.
all over a plastic fork.
Oh.
Or the woman who, granted, she was with her husband or her child's father at the time earlier this year, but her daughter walked out of the Family Dollar with a $3 Barbie doll, and like the police officers damn near wanted to rip the baby out of her head, her infant child out of her hands, and arrest her. It's just like there are a lot of things that occur in the news that you will not see happen to other races. Like, and I want to say, people, oh, it happens to them. No, you will not see it. I've seen many Caucasian women disrespect police officers right here in our beautiful state of Massachusetts, right on YouTube. You know, and I don't see them get reprimanded the way we do. And it's just like, why is that? Because we are already at a disadvantage because we are Black. But then you add that we are a woman on top of it. We're like undermined it. And then you have someone like us who are highly educated women. God forbid I open my mouth and speak. You're so angry. No, I'm just passionate.
Ooh, I touched on that. Well,
But that's how I feel.
I agree. I said no, sadly, we're not. I said when I think
Sad,
about
angry.
Yeah,
Well, when I
be
think
mad
about
it, I think it's something to be mad
You
about.
have a right to be mad.
I know, Solange, and thank you. It's not that I'm not mad. It's just that the thing is, when I hear about reports of rape, attacks, assaults, death, it's terrifying for me because I'm a mom now. So I've left.
Ooh, you see?
I've left a position of being an angry Black woman. I am still an angry Black woman, but I'm trying to shift from that because if we're gonna piggyback off of things, thinking about our colorism episode and dismantling things, I'm trying to
break away from that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But like systematically and socially, we're going to be pegged as that.
It's hard. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No.
It's hard though because you said something and it triggered something in me. You said rape. Do we remember the young woman, the African American woman who was raped behind a dumpster? She was drunk. She was raped behind a dumpster by the white boy.
I remember his name. I can't remember his last name, but it was Brock.
Brock Hunter.
Okay.
Brock Hunter. Raped. What did he get? 6 months?
6 months, but it was reduced to what, like 3 months?
Because of good behavior. But then we have
the release of what? Centoya Brown? And, that's a woman who has a very sad but common background. Her mother was on drugs, alcohol abuse. She was put up for adoption. She was, still a child, but had no guidance, no stability. And now she's, into the wrong crowd. She's being prostituted out at a young age. She's, now into sex trafficking and she's in a situation where we really don't know what happened, but we know that she felt like she needed to defend herself.
Media, we wouldn't have known what happened.
And she felt like she needed to defend herself. Okay, she felt she needed to protect herself from being attacked.
So let's break down her case. She was being pimped.
Yes.
And she was with a John. And the John got overly intoxicated. She found his gun And rather than her running back home to her pimp, she shot the John, took his money and his gun, and fled. When she was caught by the police, they said she was a prostitute who robbed somebody.
Of course.
At 16 years old.
Of course. Of course. And it sucks because that's not a rarity.
It's not. Did you hear about the woman? Oh my gosh, there was a woman. I really wish I remember her name. She was from New York. And similar situation, Jamaican woman, of course. Jamaican woman, so I know this.
You go.
She came.
Watch the news.
So, she came to the country at a young age, and she was being raped by, her mother sent her to live with this family, and she was being raped by the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the family friend noticed that she was being raped, so he took her in. But he took her in at a young age and made her his woman. Mm. So she went from one rape to another rape. So she ran away, got with a group of people, ended up in the same situation as Centoya Brown. They ended up robbing a man, kidnapping him. Well, she actually confessed to the crime. Mm-hmm. They robbed the man, tied him up, tortured him, and extorted him for money. She got 20 years in prison. Mm-hmm. 15 and 20 years in prison. But when you look at her case, she was 17, 18 years old.
Yeah, Centoya was 16 years old.
And it's just where was their protection?
Went from 51 years to life. And if it weren't for, like we said, social media, if it weren't for people actually taking an interest in her case, this woman would not be freed as of August 7th? 8th?
When did she go?
August 7th. Oh, okay. Well, either way, you know what I'm saying? So, for me, it brings me to the question, what does it mean for you as a Black woman to feel protected?
Me? Yeah. Why you look at me?
Because I'm asking you.
To feel protected, let me bring it to this, actually. So there was a video.
Don't deflect.
I'm not. We'll see where it ties in. There's a video of a woman in a parking lot getting into her car. And this white man comes up to her and starts, pretty much attacking her. Just really just all in her face, ready to hit her if he had the chance. This Black man coming out the store, random Black man, doesn't know her, doesn't know him, comes out and is like, why you harassing her? What are you doing? Whatever. This white man goes and hits the Black man. And then the Black man obviously goes back and hits him. And then the white man's like, oh, but you hit me. No, actually, you were harassing this woman and you got in her face. And that wasn't okay. So for me,
that's protected.
That protection comes in where I'm not fearful, because I think within our own communities, there's certain things that make us fearful when our brothers are walking past. And I have to say our brothers because these are people that we need to be uniting with. Mm-hmm. I don't really care what you do, but if you see me in the street and I'm helpless, mm-hmm. whether you know me or not, whether you find me attractive or not, your duty as a Black man is to protect
as a civilian.
As
a civilian,
yes, but
more inclusively as a Black man.
As a Black man, because
if
this was your sister,
and because this is what I was gonna say, protecting the Black woman means respecting the Black woman.
Of course.
Because you'll have a Black. Well, I gotta do it. I gotta do it because I'm Black. No, because you're a civilian, and you would do it for any other woman. So do it for me. If you call yourself this, and that's what I mean. Because we really want to take away from it. If you say that to him, he's gonna be like, well, why do I have to do it? Why do I have to carry that burden?
It's sad because we have Black men out there who's like, well, that's not my job. That's not my problem.
Exactly.
But let it be your sister. Let it be your mother. Let it be your daughter.
And honestly, to reverse it in retrospect, I feel like Black women do a lot of protecting the Black man.
You said a lot. We do.
There are pictures of us standing in the midst of war, in the midst of fire, to protect our own.
You got to look at it as we birth you, we raise you, we comfort you, and we bury you. Oh, and we love you.
Yes.
And all we want you to do back is love us.
To respect us, to love us, and to protect us. That's all that I feel like.
And I feel like they all go hand in hand. If you love and respect me, you'll protect me. You respect what's yours.
I feel like
you protect what's yours.
I feel like for me, the protection, the definition of it went way deeper. Not that y'all are not. I agree with your points, but I also brought up the fact that I think that protection of Black women to me is someone that allows me to be myself, which is respect, but have the mutual ability to show me the feeling of security and safety, and is also preventing any mental, emotional, spiritual, and or physical harm to me. Like, to be supportive of my open thoughts, you know, being able to check me if I'm wrong, being able to stand by me through all my forms, all of them. That's protection to me. Like, that's home.
I think that's respect, because if you really think about it, if you respect somebody, you're not going to talk down on them. You're not going to want to cause them any harm. And I feel like that's where it is. Society as a whole does not respect us.
They don't.
And if our men don't respect us, the women they date won't respect us. The people they converse to about us won't respect us. And it's just a trickle down factor. And then we've built up this exterior, this skin to be so hard. So they're like, oh, she can take it. She's dealt with this.
Right.
She can take
and
it.
the thing
that's
is,
where angry black woman comes in.
Right. We've endured all the pain for you. And not to say that black men don't endure pain, but there's a lot of things that we have to deal with.
It's honestly, to me, it's two separate things. Like, I'm never going to know
what it feels like
to be a black man,
but I know what it feels like to bury a black man.
I do, and now, but now it's starting to get to the point where, like, me as a black woman, me getting pulled over is almost no different. You gonna snatch my ass out of the car just the same way you would snatch a black man out of the car.
I had to tell my friend this because he was just like, "Oh, black women don't know how they have ever heard." I was like, we now go through what you guys go through, but then still also make it home and have the fear that you may not make it home. You guys don't walk around with the fear of us not being there to protect you, because in your minds, we will always be here.
Right.
Or I feel that.
Black women birth you guys, and we have to listen to how you talk about other black women and sit back and be like, damn it, this is the man that I raised.
And I thought about that because I feel like, because again, to like go back to the question, like, is it a black man's job to protect the woman, or is it our job amongst each other? I think
it's
that
our job amongst each other.
It's definitely both. And I also feel like black women have to do a better job of protecting black women.
Ooh,
like, I feel like
say that again.
Black women have to do a better job of protecting one another, other black women.
When we speak of sisterhood, when we speak of brotherhood, it's like, in a sense, the men have their brotherhoods.
Yeah.
But we are constantly
tearing each other down,
picking at each other, tearing each other down, and it's like, for what?
Yeah.
For what? Because once we're done, ain't no crazy.
What it is, it's like what. Bring it back to the colorism episode where we talked about like what is raised and brought up in our community.
I was gonna say it's really about starting at home too.
We kind of like pinned against each other, because if you really look at, all right, let's take a basic household. You look at, and I'm not saying this is all families, but you look at a black mother. Say she has a black daughter and a black son. She's catering to her black son because she knows that world is going to be hard on him. So she wants to make sure he feels loved at home. She's raising her black daughter to be a woman from the age of 5, 6, 7. You get what I mean? So her daughter does not feel the affection and the love. So most of the time you're like, damn it, my mother was hard on me. She was rough on me. Let me tell my mother I'm doing this and that. Oh, don't bring no, it's a hard relationship. So then
it's very hard for like black mothers and daughters, because when you think about it, it's like we're pinned against each other at the beginning.
And I was gonna say, and God forbid that little black girl goes to school and sees the black girl who comes from a home where her mother is her best friend. She's gonna resent her.
No, of course. And I think,
or let her mother have the color complex. Oh, these little dark little this, Then she goes to school and she see a light skinned girl. Oh, she think you better than me. It's just like, it's just so much that's pent up, so much taught frustration and anger.
I agree with that.
I think we could just call it toxicity, because it's just like teaching being that way to your daughter, like mistreating her for whatever reason, or having that resentment. It's
generational, because you think about like, it's generational and it's habitual to be passed down, and it's unfortunate. And that's why I said the thing about being like an angry black woman is like, I'm not trying to break the stigma. First of all, I'm not an angry black woman just because I'm vocal, just because I'm passionate, just because I'm serious.
That's a preconceived notion of
I'm educated, because I won't take no basic shit. I'm angry. I have an attitude.
I'm putting that on a shirt. No basic shit.
I have an attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's this is how I'm moving, and it's not like that. And I think that, again, reiterating the fact that I'm a mom, I feel like it's my time. I'm on the forefront to break those type of generational things. I'm never going to allow my son, and I know those things where you let your son, do things like bringing girls in the house or whatever. But if a girl brings a dude in the house,
you
for
nurture.
shame, yeah.
What you saying?
What?
You nurture your boys and you raise your daughters.
Yeah.
And that's not.
And that's not my intention.
Because then that girl goes out into the world and she's taught that not only does she not have to have a sense of respect for herself, but she's going to put her all into this man because all she saw was her mother raising and
And I read an article that said that Black women can no longer afford to coddle Black men.
Ooh, explain.
And I read into the article.
Does that come with reparations?
Some. Less headache. But no, I think we're at a pivotal point as a race and a community where it's like, well, I wasn't taught that either. So let's figure it out. And you can go to therapy and figure out why you have mommy issues or daddy issues, but please don't come here and say that I don't have any issues. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like we have to step out of those old traditional taboos where it's like raising your daughters,
generational habits, breaking things that are like, oh, because my mama's did it. Like, okay, cool. Some things I'm going to take with me. Some things
I won't
do appeal to me, and some things
because
I'm not.
Sticking around after a man cheats, we ain't with
you
that.
Beating me to a pulp?
Ain't with that. Like,
so do you guys feel individually that you guys are protected?
I say this a lot. In my upbringing, in my household, in the people that I surround myself with, I do feel that way. Mm-hmm. I have brothers who are very protective of me. I have brothers who are also taught to protect the women that they're around.
As a whole.
I have my uncles who let me know that, hey, you are an educated Black woman and you do not need to settle for nothing. Mm-hmm. I have a man that looks at me and tells me every day that I'm beautiful, whether my weave is on right, whether
or not. That's or right. Eyelash fluttering in the wind. That's right.
Yes, listen. And then I have friends who gas me up every chance they get, even when I'm looking bummy. So it's just like, I want to say, like, and it's a lot of people who can't say that for themselves, but I do have a loving circle.
I agree. I definitely believe that this is something I receive on both ends. Like, I think that
you mentioned it in the which episode? You had mentioned it in an episode where you shouted out your brothers and people who helped you get
your letter episode.
Yeah, and those are the Black men.
Shout out to y'all.
Yes, shout out to all y'all Negroes. Those are the Black men that make me feel well protected, but also my Black women that make me feel protected too. You know what I'm saying? Like my sisterhood. Couldn't be. Yeah, like my sisterhood. I have like a firm sisterhood. I have like women that honestly, it doesn't have to be related to them. The Black women in them be like, hey, what's going on here? Or if they see like, if they start to see, I don't know, Black men getting into it, doing step in the middle like, yo, what are y'all doing? What's going on? Y'all calm down. Whoa. And I know
a lot of those women who are very vocal about not taking that shit.
Yeah, or just not wanting to see you out here being that and doing that and practicing that behavior because we know what it can escalate to. We know, and not just being a woman, but as Black people, like we just know what it can escalate to. We just know what can come of it. So I definitely think it's important for us to, yes, absolutely, first and foremost, protect the Black woman because we're Eve.
What about you?
I would say
the original woman, phenomenal woman.
Yes, I would say that I have a loving support circle of women. Mm-hmm. Growing up, I had it as well. Like my cousins, it wasn't even like my brothers. My cousins were very adamant about, yo, leave her alone. I don't care who you are, leave her alone, and don't bother her. And these are the same people that I call on today, like my cousins, my friends, guy friends, whatever. And it's like we have it in ourselves, but it's just like we have to constantly teach it and learn it from each other.
And
like
reteach
we
it
have
and apply it over and over and over until it sticks. Until again, the dismantling thing from colorism, it's the same thing. Like, okay, dismantle. It's honestly like a whole setup. Like, okay, let's dismantle this, and in the process of dismantling, we're gonna have to protect one another because I have to watch your back, you have to watch my back. We have to support. We can't tear each other down. We have to do this, or we're not gonna get anywhere
at all.
And what I think the beauty of it is that we are in this day and age where women know their worth and men are starting to respect women for knowing their worth.
Yeah.
Do you think?
And falling away from calling us angry black bitches. Ish.
I feel like I forgot what I was reading or where. I don't know if I was reading it or if I was listening. Like, it could have been on Twitter, but this guy was tweeting and he, long story short, said, if she's walking down the street and she's frowning, don't ask her to smile. Let her be until her day gets better. You don't know what she woke up to that morning.
Or approach her and compliment her. I feel like it's so, like.
But I love how he said. I love how he said that. He was like, "Don't tell her to smile. You don't know what she woke up to."
Yeah, or
you get what I mean?
honestly, just leave people alone. Now, am I a person that's like bothered by people coming up and telling me to smile? No, because I'll reply to you and I'll be like, honestly, you right, thank you. I was thinking about something and it's not that I'm not smiling. Like, I'll have a conversation with you. I'll say, oh no, it's not that I wasn't smiling. I'm sorry, my head is somewhere else. But thank you. You know what I mean? Like,
I think rather than us being, because I'm the type of person I may not always come off as approachable. Because I'm always in my head as well. But if you say something to me, instinctively, I'm going to respond to you. Because I don't see you as a threat to me. I don't see any,
y'all are rare. Because I am that person that walks down the street. I'm aware of my surroundings.
No, I'm not going to say all the time. Sometimes
not all the time.
Sometimes I may dead stare.
If you tell me to smile, I'm going to look at you and be like, for what? Regardless if I'm in a good mood or not, but it's just like
a little hair on my head.
It's
for life.
It comes into
for life. That's what
it comes into to me that comes
Damn.
into that comes into the space of protecting the black woman, because you don't walk up to no white girl and be like, hey, smile. You don't. No, you give her a compliment before you tell her to smile. You get what I mean? Damn, sister, you look so angry.
I can't
Why
speak on that? I can't, because we do.
I hear that common phrase.
The resting bitch face.
Everyone, but this is the thing.
When he's approaching you,
natural black ass fault.
When he's approaching you, and you look a little in your head, for me, I take it as like,
let me be in my
smile,
head.
sure, fine, whatever. Maybe I don't want to smile, but thanks. Have a great day.
It's not, say hello.
Honestly, but that could go either way too.
Hello, what?
Not for nothing. I'm not.
Let me not drag y'all off topic. I'm
not
a believer. I'm a firm believer of what I think it is. The bottom line is stop making it a point to where black women need to do what you want them to do. You want us to smile all the time. You want us to look happy all the time. You want us to be ready to go and take on the world. Let me just be me and walk around with Let me just walk around with my I have a resting bitch face. I do. And I don't be mad. Half the time I'm thinking about food. But it's just like it's just one of those things where it's just like it's inappropriate or why are you so angry? You know, those are things.
But that's honestly a valid question. I think because our men know us well enough. I don't know you, but ma'am, you look a little upset right now.
I was trying to get to know you. You told me about my black ass business, and now I'm going over here.
All right, we'll leave that. That's another thing, because that's a whole nother conversation, a whole nother. I just
think that the time for protecting one another and protecting the black woman, I think that it definitely stems back to centuries, like 18th century, like Sarah Parkman centuries.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Who's Sarah Parkman?
Oh, you know. Oh, you don't know.
Yeah.
18th century, she was a black woman who was literally abducted from South Africa, minding her black ass business, looking voluptuous, minding her business by the British. And she was honestly used as a freak show act, as entertainment for like public entertainment, and literally fetishized, literally for her shape, for her ass, for natural features.
And that's the problem.
And so when I think about protection, and when I think about like, I even think about Amber Rose and the whole walk and all that good stuff, or strut, what was it? Slut walk. Okay, whatever. Cool. Sorry, my bad. But I think about like, if she wants to do that, if she has a reason, a rationale, a cause behind it, protect her.
Protect her.
That's it.
And we have to protect her whether she's half dressed, whether she's fully dressed, whether you like her, whether you don't like her. It doesn't matter.
Right.
We have to protect her.
Do you agree with the premises behind the walk?
No, you don't have
Doesn't
to.
matter.
Protect your Muslim sisters.
Yeah.
Protect your trans. I'm going to continue to say it. Protect your
Reiterating
trans
that.
women.
And
your
I
trans
know,
sisters.
I know a few that literally they literally go to work and go home. Literally go to work and they live on social media because that's the safest place for them.
I know. I'm very close to a trans woman, and I know what she goes through. And it sucks because it's just like, listen, protect.
I'm like, that's silent. You hear that silence? It's just so known amongst, like, you know, it's just so real. And I don't know. I just think that it all ties together. And in order for us to be, you know, feeling like protected, the other thing is like, to a fault, we have to also, as Black women, allow the protection. Like, I feel like,
I feel so.
Kind of felt attacked a little bit.
like when I think about, but no, for real, when I think about like
that all by myself.
Exactly.
Listen,
and I'm not saying that you can't, and you shouldn't if you don't want to. But there's a level I think of vulnerability that is not reflected on the Black woman. So sometimes the concept or the ideal of like wanting to be protected is not known. But
should it be something that's vocally, I guess it goes back to the beginning where it's like, should we vocally be like, well, I need you to protect me?
No,
not necessarily,
Okay.
but I just feel like, not necessarily, but I feel like there's a sense of hardness to us now where like, if I felt the need to be protected, if I was a Black man, I surely wouldn't know that my Black ass needed to be protected. I would have to know, I would have to take the time, or I would have to, like, honestly, intuitively, or just, you know, like, really, like,
you have to be.
I'd have to be like, all right, you know what, it's upbringing and it's home thing. It's like, I would have to know, like, you know what, I see this Black woman get into an argument with this person, I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna stand here. I'm gonna wait by your side. It doesn't have to be like, oh, you don't have to come over and be like, what you do? It doesn't have to be that.
Unless you see it getting to that point where you need to physically
step in, because I feel like I'm a Black woman that if I saw something going down, if I saw a child being spoken to inappropriately, if I saw a child doing the wrong thing, I'm like, hey, you know your grandmama live next door, I'm telling her.
Take it to your mama house.
You know what I mean? Like that.
Listen.
I think we're like sort of embedded with the ideal of like protection amongst each other, protection of children especially, protection of Black men especially. So I think we're getting to a point where it's kind of shifting, and thankfully for social media and like present day things, it is happening. It's just happening at a very, very moderate
Right.
We'll get there though. Do you think we'll get there?
I do.
So
I do. I have to say I do. If I don't speak forwardly, I'm gonna be stuck in the ideals of we never gonna get it, and I gotta get it because I'm already receiving it. You know what I'm saying? Like, right, got it, received it, processing it, hoping that the people that I know, the Black men that I know, the protectors that I know, they're in spaces to teach other people. And it's not even a vocal thing. It's like somebody else is like, damn, you know something? He definitely just stood up for her. Like, you know what? You get the courage.
I'm gonna do that as well.
Yeah, like you get the courage. I hope it's a ripple effect.
I hope so.
And that's pretty much where I stand with that. But I'm a well-protected Black woman spiritually
And physically.
Okay, so.
Do you guys have any ending venting points?
No, I will say the other thing I was going to bring up, like very minimally, but I'm going to cut that short. When I think of protection too, I think of like young girls, like 15, 16, I think of like R. Kelly situations where you have half of the masses saying, oh, that girl knew what she was doing, she out there, and then you have some of them that like got pimped out by their parents, like turning up, left to go see this man, left to go see those things. And it's like, yo, honestly, like, sure, if your parents took you to a concert, you know what I mean? Like, you're not thinking about that. But it's to me, it's unfair because you're still a kid to me. It's unfair for you to be put on this.
It's the duty of the adult to ensure that.
To me, it's the duty. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it should be to everybody. It's the duty of the adult.
To protect young black girls.
To protect, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think about, that's the only thing I was thinking about in addition to, like, the other stuff we were talking about. But, like, I think about the R. Kelly situation. I just can't.
It's the duty
honestly
of
don't
the
think
adults,
I can.
The justice system.
I don't think I can stomach how many people actually was like, oh, no, listen, them girls doing what they want to do. I'm like, yo, you never heard of Stockholm Syndrome? Like, you've never heard of those type of things? Like, you really got to do.
Once you're introduced to it, it's like you now normalize it.
And think about you being 16 and being like, oh, my God, like, I got to meet him. Yeah, like, I got to meet him. And, oh, wait, you want me to do this? I'm like, oh, I don't know. But there's nobody around to tell me otherwise, so okay, I guess, like, you know what I'm saying, like, and now you're in this, and I'm not saying that's what happened for everybody. Some of these girls are well conscious, well in their intuitive mind,
regardless
and
if they think that they were, I'm using my education, regardless if they thought,
enlighten me,
regardless if they thought what they were doing was right, at the age of 16, you are still not well equipped enough to know anything.
Yeah.
At the age of 19 and 20, there are still women out here being manipulated by men.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and there are grown women.
When we are bringing it back,
grown-ass women.
When we are bringing it back to protecting, the justice system failed those girls.
Oh.
The parents failed those girls.
Oh.
R. Kelly's staff failed those girls.
But luckily, where we
Robert.
But luckily, where we are now, it's like we're becoming more conscious of what's going on, what's happening around
Conversations
us.
are being brought up because
now
people are really side-eyeing Diddy with his relationships, and I'm glad people are talking about it.
Can we talk about Marcus Houston and that 19-year-old getting married?
But that's the thing. People.
All right. Well, thank you for trying to. Whoa! Wait a minute.
Oh yes,
that's another episode. We can talk about that.
I beg your pardon.
Hey, listen.
Where the hell have I been? What are you talking about?
I'll show you.
She's a little older than 19. She's a little older than 19.
But he's 40.
But what about Scott Disick? I know it's a woman.
But she's not.
It's Sophia. Well,
but what I'm saying is, it's the protection of. But we'll save that for another episode.
Okay,
I don't think that's subjected to race. I think that's a whole nother topic. We'll save that for another episode.
Right.
So to close off,
protect one another.
Mm-hmm. Like
protect
your sisters,
yourself,
your brothers, yourself. But I want us to acknowledge that this is not something that is hard to grasp. I don't think it's something that we can't reach. I think because it's been around for so long and we're now just acknowledging and getting to know, not to say what's right and what's wrong, but we're now seeing it in our faces real time.
Let's get a little back to Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get back to that status where they was walking around militant, protecting, you know.
But the women was in there too.
Exactly.
But we had the front line, you know, that was protecting us.
In costume? She said front line, sorry. Never back line.
But front line be expensive, sis.
Always
they got payment plans. It's 2019, baby.
Always front line.
I do want midline. I do want us to midline.
Come on.
What do you want us to do?
I do want us to remember that Malcolm X did speak on this before us seeing these things now. Because as he said, the most disrespected woman
in America
is
the black woman.
The most unprotected person in America
is the black woman.
And the most neglected
is the black woman.
Damn, that pot roast that I left. All right, y'all.
But no.
On that note,
with that, I think having the conversations amongst ourselves in our inner circles, feeding off of each other and giving each other those cues and tips and
social cues and picking up on it and ripple effect.
Yes,
and allowing it to spread throughout the community.
That's what's going to, in the long run, help in dismantling these things where we have to protect ourselves, even though we could.
Yeah, agreed.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Have a good night.
Have a good
Protect,
night.
Say my last
and
lick.
protect yourself sexually too.
Oh,
'Cause
let me.
I just want to say, because you really do, because we can't be out here just.
She walked off on you. Good night, everyone.
Bye, y'all. I'm just sit here and finish my wine.
I'm walking too.
Protect the wine.